Alright guys, next up we're going to do the unspeakable. We're going to take scissors and a razor blade to some Crye in the name of science. Stay tuned. Alright, so in all reality what we got here is the Saber Solutions tubes adapter for Crye 3-band cummerbunds. Now, you could do this without cutting anything apart if you wanted. The website makes it sound a little scary. It says you're doing a permanent modification to your rig. In all reality, you're just splitting some seams here, and nothing that you're doing is irreversible. Right? You're going to make this Velcro go away so that it's out of the way. You're not going to modify the actual cummerbund at all, so you won't lose any integrity there or anything like that. Just getting this out of the way so that you can put the tubes adapter on there. And if you don't like it, you hate it, pull that thing back off of there, save your Velcro, take it back to your local tailor, and they got to run 2 lines of stitches to undo what you've done. Right? So this nothing crazy, and if you royally screwed up, you just got to buy a new cummerbund. Right? So small potatoes. I'm going to say right off the bat, I am not a huge tubes fan because I like to have my radios internal. But I'm going to give it a shot and walk you through the process of how you make this swap. And I'll try it out and I'll see how I like it. Maybe I'll try a flip down radio pouch and like that more. So we'll see how this works. Alright, so all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a razor blade because I don't have a seam splitter right now, and I'm going to do my best to cleanly remove these 2 lines of vertical stitching here. If you look at your cummerbund, there's a Velcro sandwich there that sews onto the little tabs at the end of this thing, and I would imagine this will take us all 5 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and knock that out. Okay, I wanted to stop halfway through here because I had a thought and I think it's worth mentioning. Alright, so one side is done, alright? Split the seams there. Your Velcro sandwich comes off nice and clean. I got a little bit sloppy and got a small nick in the Velcro. So maybe that one's permanently modified, but whatever. The point I wanted to make here is if you're like me and you're not totally sold on the tubes idea, if you're a one radio person and you keep it on the same side all the time, as you should, because that would make sense, and you're pretty comfortable with your setup, you can do just 1/2, all right? And then you can install the one side, so then you have tubes on the one side. The other side is still a Velcro flap, but that keeps the tube out of the way and allows you to keep a radio on that side. So if you're not totally sold, get your feet wet and try just half of this thing at once and see how it works out for you. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish putting this on here so I can show you how it works. Alright, so your cummerbund side of the tubes adapter is this little setup here. Alright, you've got a support piece right here that'll slide through your cummerbund, and then it'll also slide through these loops, and then there's snaps on each end which provides your final security. Alright, so I just wanted to show you that before I got it completely in there, and we'll take a look at how the finished product looks. Alright, so we've got the cummerbund side of this in there. Basically you keep your tubes portion lined up with the cummerbund, and you drop that reinforced piece through there, and then the ends just snap back onto each other. Once that's done, you've got your vest side of the problem, or your plate pocket side of the problem. Open up your flap, drop that thing on there where you want your tubes to connect, and Bob's your uncle, you now have a tubes compatible Crye plate carrier. Alright? The cool thing about doing this on the AVS and I've run into this with tubes before, and this is kind of why I'm not a huge fan of it, is if you have the harness and you follow Crye's directions for donning this thing, you can tighten it up once it's on you. So you lose all of your adjustment with the tubes, but as long as you leave some slack in the back end, you can snug it up however you want. And if you leave enough, you've got enough flexibility there for winter layers versus summer layers and what have you. Okay, so that's how you install the Saber Solutions Crye tubes upgrade, basically. All right, so we got one side done. Do the other side and give this thing a whirl. So I'll run this a little bit, maybe have a follow-up video if I absolutely hate it, but I can't imagine that I will hate it. Right? Another thing that I thought about while I was installing this, if you like the two-band cummerbund, and I don't know how flexible Saber Solutions is with how they sell these things, but basically the cummerbund half of this is unnecessary if you use a two-band cummerbund. So the reason I say that is you get yourself repair tubes, the female side, and that should be plug and play with the two-band based on how that spacing is. You'll still have to cut off the Velcro, but you can just thread it, the actual tube, onto the end of the cummerbund. So if he hasn't thought about that, maybe he'll offer just the vest side with a female tube. So it'd be a little bit cheaper, and it would allow you to use this on the two-band. Because right now you couldn't do that on the two-band. Or you'd have to buy this whole setup and then a spare female tube. Okay. The ends here, just clean it up with a lighter, get rid of the threads here. This is all still tacked in place really well, so these are not going to split or anything. I didn't compromise the carbon fiber piece in there. That's all going nowhere. It's still a fully functional Crye cummerbund. Right, you can put your side plates in there if you want. I know he's got some graphics, so you can put your side plate right up front if you want it. This doesn't hinder that at all. It doesn't interfere with any of the Velcro mounting options, and it doesn't interfere with your AVS panels here at all. All right, it's just a 1/8 inch of bulk there, which is totally fine. So Saber Solutions Crye tubes adapter, not as scary as it looks. Go ahead and modify your cummerbund. You don't have to get a whole new one, and you can always fix what you've done with about 10 minutes at your local tailor. All right, appreciate your time, guys, and hopefully we're back on the wagon here and getting some videos put out. Thanks.